So, Chris, you've been doing motivational interviewing now for approximately 5 years. Tell everybody what motivational interviewing is.
Motivational interviewing, and kind of to put it simply, is a client-centered approach to counseling. And what I mean by client-centered is it really works with the client to understand what they care about, what concerns them, and ultimately what health behaviors maybe that they want to change for their own reasons, not for anybody else's reasons. As a health coach or anybody that practices ML, you really have to disregard your own thoughts, feelings, and agendas to really figure out what somebody wants out of life and develop that difference from, where they are now and where they want to be in the future. It's simply a conversation of change.
So essentially, you check your expectations at the door and then kind of let the client decide what it is they want to work on.
Exactly, and that's the fun part, because you really get to try to understand what makes somebody tick. And through that process, they might even learn a little bit more about themselves. So.
It's almost a way of being with people and having a healthy conversation.
Now looking at that, how do you feel that is different than how traditional healthcare is approached?
With traditional healthcare, it's a solution-based approach. So there's a way to fix whatever's wrong with you. With motivational interviewing, especially as it relates to the healthcare field, it's almost, what do you feel is wrong with you and how do you want to work on that?
So really it's a completely different approach, where instead of just prescribing something, you're actually trying to find out what they really care about.
Right, and trusting that the solution can come from within the client. And when you fully accept the client for who they are, and accept the fact that, and trust the fact that they have that answer within them, you get a greater result. So I do think it's a lot more effective than healthcare as well.
So kind of give me a little bit, if you don't mind, of how that process works. Well, what makes motivational interviewing work?
It starts with listening. If you can be a good listener and truly try to understand the individual that you're working with, I guess that's the best way to describe how it works. And then, eliciting and evoking the reasons for change from the client. So essentially, instead of us telling them what to do, they almost tell us what it is they want to do, why it is they want to do it, and what it is they think will work for them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So really, it really begins with listening.
Yeah.
And trying to understand where somebody is in life, and try to really, the empathy of putting yourself in their shoes. It really must take a lot of practice to do that.
It does, and the primary tool, which is reflections, kind of force a client to have a conversation with themselves. So a lot of people want to make a change but maybe don't know how, or maybe they think they might want to but don't want to. They have that ambivalence, and they have these thoughts and these conversations within themselves. Yeah, I should do this, but they never have that conversation out loud, and they never have to really converse with themselves necessarily. So motivational interviewing is good in that respect as well.
And sometimes when they hear that, when they speak those words themselves, it's kind of like they're hearing it for the first time, kind of like a aha moment.
Absolutely. And so, considering what motivational interviewing is and how it works, who do you feel like could benefit from using motivational interviewing?
Pretty much anybody who has a conversation. Conversations are difficult enough because we all have preconceived ideas and thoughts and values of our own. So sometimes those kind of cloud the waters a little bit of when we're having a conversation of what someone's trying to say. So I think if you have any kind of conversation where traditionally maybe you just told people what to do and you're frustrated with the results because they're not doing those things, really starting with the basic skills of listening through motivational interviewing. This can work well for people in the healthcare field, people in social work, criminal justice, even teachers can benefit from this. Anytime a conversation is going to happen.
Pretty much anybody.
Pretty much anybody, exactly.
Awesome. Well, Chris, this has been a great conversation.
And good talking to you as well, Larry.